All right then. So now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and install the material table. So search for materialtable.com. So that will take you to the material table. So click get started over here, and here you can see the install option. So these are the things that you need to download and install in your version. So once you install it, it will show some error. Let me show you how to handle all those errors. So let me copy this, and what we need to do is let's go to our terminal, and over here we need to install one by one. So let's copy this, paste it, then right after that give a space and copy this add material UI core, copy it, and you need to paste it. So enter. So once it's installed, it's showing an error. What is that error? Host key verification. Make sure that is exists. I think we made a mistake. Oh, I missed the at. I missed the at keyword over here. At. That's the reason. All right. So while copying the package, please make sure that you're copying everything perfectly. Otherwise, it will throw us an unwanted issues. So now it's installed, and let me go and check over here. It's refreshing, and let's go to and copy this. We don't need this, and of course we need to add this also because it's using the material UI icon. So copy this and yon add material UI icons. So install that. All right, so now what we need to do is let's go ahead and check whether it is showing any issues or not. No, it's not showing any issues. So these are the things, and if you scroll down over here, you can see the tables. What is the tables that you need to use? In this case, we're going to use the remote data. Basically, we're going to create our own data, remote data example. If you expand this like this, we're going to use this table. If you click the show source code, and this is the show source code that we're going to use. Okay, we're gonna use this is the source code that we're gonna use. Okay, so now what we need to do is, so let me copy this completely from here, copy, and I'm going to DB orders. So I'm just going to say inside the DB items, I'm just going to say this should take the class name, this should take the flex item center, and justify evenly. No, it should be center, justify center, and gap should be 4, and then we can say padding top. From the padding top you should say 6, and width it should take full. All right, so then let's say the changes, and now let's see what is it showing. Let's go to the items. Okay, so here we are. So then what we need to do, we need to bring that table which we copied it, and let's import this material table. So basically this material table is coming from the package of your material table itself. So let's go ahead and import that. Let me copy this name, copy, and then import material table from material table. Save the changes, and let's see what is it showing. It's showing bunch of errors, right? So we need to install all these packages because basically it's showing a bunch of errors, and this is because we need to handle this error perfectly. And I saved that not here, I saved it somewhere. Okay, so I missed that URL, other bookmarks, sign in. All right, so I missed that bookmark. So let me show you how to resolve all these issues and everything. So to fix these issues and everything, so what we need to do is, first of all, we need to wrap this complete item, this data table, we need to wrap this complete item into a theme provider, because this will work only with the theme provider. Okay, so let's import that from at material UI. We should get that MUI and material, so that packages needs to be downloaded and everything. This material, this is the place it's showing this error. So we need to install all these packages and everything. So open your command prompt and just install all the packages what I'm going to show you right over here. So yarn add space, you need to install at emotion react, because that needs to be installed when you're working with real material UI. And as the same way, you need to install at emotion at emotion react. We already copied it, so let me copy this and paste it one more time. That is going to be at emotion style. Then we need to install the at material core UI core, which we already downloaded. Let's download it one more time. And we need to download the at material UI icons, which we already downloaded. Let's download it one more time anyways. And we need to download the at MUI icons / materials, because that's the icons it's been used inside the table. So we need to download that package. Then we need to download the MUI lab. Of course, we need to download that. Then we need to download the at MUI materials. Basically, these are the packages that it's showing error. So we need to download everything and then download MUI styles. Paste it over here. All right, so now everything it's been fine, I think so. So material table we already installed. All right, so now let's press enter. So this will download all the necessary packages. An error occurred. Why? Something, we made a mistake. So what is that? Yarn add at emotion react. At emotion react, is there any spelling mistake? No. Then yarn add at emotion style. No. At material UI / core. At material UI / icon. At MUI icons material. At MUI lab. At MUI / material. At MUI styles. So what it is showing, material UI version 4 does not exist. Receive. So let's click this, open it, and let's see what is it showing. How to migrate it, migrate to this. Then let me try to install everything one by one. Yarn add, let's figure it out which package it's showing issue. Copy and paste it. Okay, that is installing. Then copy this and paste this one. Yarn add emotion styled. All right, so it's installing. Then this is, we already installed it. Anyways, we run it one more time. So yarn add material UI core. So then add these icons anyways. Yarn add material UI icons. Fine. Then let's go ahead and install icons material as well. Then yarn add icons MUI icons material. So it's installing. Then copy this. Let's install MUI lab itself. So it's downloading, taking some time. All right, so this will download the necessary packages, because it took me almost 2 days to figure it out what exact mistakes that we are making with the data table. Finally, I figured it out. It's missing because of this packages and all those things. I found it somewhere in the Stack Overflow, but I forgot to save it in the bookmark. So that's the reason now we are struggling again. So let's copy this and let's paste it. Since it's installing now, it's taking some time. All right, then, so it's installed. Now what we need to do, yarn add and paste this one, add material UI, enter. So that's also downloading. I don't know what mistake we made in the bunch of packages. All right, so anyways, we successfully installed. Just one more that we need to install. All right, then, so that also is successfully installed. Then add the last package, add material UI styles. So let's download that one as well. So it's downloading. So we finished everything like material table, UI styles, UI icons, material lab. Okay, we installed everything which we needed. So let's wait until this successfully installed. Please wait. All right then, so it's going to install successfully. So finally it's done. So then what we need to do is let's get back to our DB items over here. Let's scroll up, and now after this material UI we need to import from, we need to import this at MUI slash material. So from this slash material we need to get that theme provider. So theme provider, get that theme provider. So theme provider, then we need to create a theme. For this we need to create a theme. Okay, so then what we need to do is we need to create the theme object over here. So const default theme equals create theme, save the changes. Then this table should be wrapped completely inside that theme provider. So theme provider, and then you need to supply the theme which you created. So let's say default, we'll keep it as default material theme, so that we need to know what material, what theme that we are creating. Let's create it as a default material theme itself, paste it, and oops, not like that, paste it and supply it here as well. So save the changes, and now let's go ahead and let's check it out. Still it's showing export default use pagination, module has no exports, but it is showing. Okay, so we don't need this data and everything. Let's remove this data from here, remove it. Let's keep it empty. And still it's showing an error, pagination error. Why it's showing that pagination error? Not sure why it's showing. We added everything as it's asked. Data table, everything is added. Material table, we created an MUI, and we created the theme, and we supplied the default material theme. And material table, we have the columns. Let's go here and let's get some dummy detail. Let's say get started with, hey, not this one. What is some example? We have some examples. Actions, let's go to the actions, simple action examples. Let's get this detail. Okay, so let me copy this table now, copy, and let me supply that table over here, save the changes, and let me check whether it is working fine or not. It's supposed to work over here, but still we are getting this error. Why we are getting this error? Let's go ahead and fix this issue. Let's search for that error, or let's search for, let's go to the data table itself. Let's go to the material UI and let's search for data table. Data table, go to the data table, and this is the data grid that it's using. Not this one, not this one, not this one. Damn, I missed that pagination. I saved it somewhere, but I missed that. I don't know where did I missed it. using data table and everything. Running affiliates. Why we are getting this issue? So export default reported as use pagination. Why we are getting that error? All right, guys, so I didn't change anything at all. I just re-executed the same packages and installations and everything. I installed which exactly in this website over here. Just we added the same packages over here, just like added using the Material UI, Motion React Style, and then MUI icons, and then MUI Lab. We added the same packages which we already installed, and then one thing, I just stopped the server and then I reinstalled the server. So now it's showing that thing over here. So now if I search anything, it's filtering. So the data table, it's supposed to be, it's working perfectly fine. Okay, so it's working perfectly. Now what we need to do is, all we have to do is to adjust this styles and everything. So to fix this style, let's go here and let's write some styles. Let's find out that this is the division and MUI paper route. This is the paper route. Let's pop this. For this we need to add, let's say, width 100%. Now it's taking the width 100% as it's supposed to be, and the icons are not working perfectly. I'm not sure why. The reason its icons are not working perfectly. So we need to, because this is a search icon basically, so the icons is not working perfectly. So we need to see like this, the icons are not loading perfectly. Maybe we need to install the Material UI icons one more time, and then we'll just try to refresh it. We'll see what's going to happen. So since it's working fine, now we need to update this inside our, because it should take the complete this paper route, this MUI paper route should take the complete width as 100%. So let's go ahead to our index.css. Let's open our index.css and then let's copy and this style and let's put it inside our index.css. Let's go to our index.css over here, and right after here I'm going to paste the style, save the changes, and now this will always take the exact 100%. So let me refresh this. It's taking some time to refresh, so it's loading, loading, and now it's taking the 100%, but still it's not taking the that complete icons and everything. So we having some issues with this package.json in this material icons over here, either this icon or this icon. So we're going to install it one more time. So let's clear this. So yarn add, paste it, install that one. So make sure we don't get any errors while installing. We are getting some warning. Let's ignore the warning, that's fine. It's installing that package, and let's install this icons as well. What is the icon which we are installing? On our material icons, we are installing Material UI, this one. So let me copy this and let's install that on which building, and it's successfully done. So yarn, oops, so yarn add that. Taking some time. It's adding. So let's restart the server. Oh, this is function and this is the client. We didn't start the server. Let's restart the server. Yarn start. So it's loading, and of course I need to start in a different port. Yes, it's loading now. Loading. It's loading now. Let's wait. It's taking some time to load. Let's see whether the icons, everything is loading perfectly or not. Nope, still the icons are not loading properly. Why? Maybe the problem with the icons over here. Let me close this DB items. Let's go to the access icon section. In that, instead of this icon, let's try some other. Instead of this, let me give delete. Save the changes. It's showing we are getting the error in that package. I'm not sure why it's not working. We did everything exactly as it is, so we need to figure it out why it's not working as it's supposed to be. So let's go ahead over here, install, get started. We already installed this, and I think we need to add this icons. Let's add this link in the index. We missed that part. Let's go to the public folder and let's go to the index.html. I think that's the might be the reason, because we didn't added this. So right after this link tag, let's paste that, save the changes, and it's refreshing now. It's reloading. I think that might be an issue. If that is an issue, then we are fine. Otherwise, we need to figure it out why it's not working. It's taking time. Still, the issue is persistent, I think. Now, we are good. So this is the issue, guys. This is the problem. So we are good. So we successfully integrated that material table. Now we don't need this. We don't need this. So all we have to do is to repeat the same thing to our add new items and users and everything. So what we can do is, it's better to keep this as a separate table. So as a separate table. So instead of writing everything over here, I'm just going to cut this. Going to cut it. I'm going to delete this as well from here, from here. Now we know the data table is working fine. I'm just going to keep it as it is. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a new table over here. So I'm going to create a new table. Why it's not changing? I already changed it. Still, I already saved it, but now it's changed. It's taking some time. I don't know why. Now let's go to the components and let's create a new data table for ourselves, JSX, and let's keep it as RAFCE. It's taking some time. Save the changes, and let's go to the index.jsx, and let me copy this and paste it one more time, and let's say data table, and let's copy this from here and paste it over here. Save the changes, close this. Let's go to the data table, and I need to bring the data table over here, right? We need to bring the data table from here. Come on, load it. Data table. So it should not come from this data table directly. It should come from /components, and this should be inside this curly brackets. Save changes. All right, so now that will displace the data table right over here. So now what we need to do is, let's get back to the data table, and we need to bring that data tables and everything over here. So let's do that now. Just like the same way what we did, we need to bring the material table and the theme providers and everything. Just import those two things, and instead of this, I'm going to bring that theme provider, and it's going to have, we're going to supply these columns. We're going to try to use this as a reusable table. So we're going to supply the column data, because if you have it, what are the things we need to supply? If you go to this any examples, let's go to the remote data, or let's go to the filtering or fixed columns, basic filtering, this one. Let's go to the remote data and remote data table example. If I go to the source, you can see you need to supply the columns and you need to supply the title and you need to supply the data for each and everything. All right, so what we need to do is we need that thing: columns, data, title, and actions. These are the things that we need to supply for the table. And now let's supply that material table. We need to create a theme over here, so I created the theme. Then what we need to do, we need to supply the theme provider. So I'm just going to create that theme provider and paste it over here like this. So this is going to be that, but it will show us an issue right now. Okay, it will show us an issue right now because we don't have any table or any columns or anything. All we have to supply these information through the front end, the place where we are supplying. Right now it doesn't show anything. The table title is, everything is empty. It doesn't have any records to display. Okay, so the data table, everything is working fine now. So what we need to do is let's go to the DB tables, and this is the place where we're gonna display the columns and everything. We're gonna display the columns. Let's give the columns. So what are the items columns that we need to supply? We need to supply the image URL, product name, product category, price, and everything. And we need to supply all those options inside. Let's do that next. So before moving into this particular section, first we need to add some items. So that's what we're gonna do next. Then we can come back and fix this data table to display the data as we need it. So let's go ahead and create the new items first.